Our climate is changing. Temperatures and sea levels are rising. Erratic weather patterns are more frequent, and ecosystems are being damaged. Greenhouse gases trapped in the atmosphere warm the Earth's surface, dramatically altering our climate and environment. More than 1 million species now face extinction from disappearing habitat, extreme weather, and acidifying oceans. Yet each year, millions of tons of greenhouse gases are emitted into the atmosphere, mostly from burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas to power our homes, cars, and economies. In North America, climate change is already impacting the environment and economy with forest fires, mudslides, floods, droughts, and the devastation of forests from the mountain pine beetle. Governments around the world are looking for ways to move toward a carbon-neutral economy. Clean energy development can be an important solution to the challenges of global warming. British Columbia, Canada's westernmost province, is home to some of the country's strongest, most consistent wind resources and is on a path to build more clean power. Canada's first offshore wind energy project is planned for British Columbia's northwest coast. The company proposing the project, Naikun Wind Group, has offices in Vancouver and at the project site.
BC has one of the most aggressive climate change action plans the most aggressive in North America right now. The government has set a target of a 33% reduction in emissions below current levels by 2020. It's also introduced the first bona fide carbon tax in North America. In the electricity sector, a unique feature of BC's energy and climate plan is that any new coal-fired plants must sequester all of their emissions. And since this technology hasn't really entered the market yet, it essentially excludes coal in the short term.
Clean energy sources are abundant and are becoming more competitive with conventional resources. Wind power has been harnessed successfully in Europe for decades and continues to be a major energy source for the continent.
The U.S. is the fastest growing wind power market in the world right now. It's got about a 26% share of the world market. Installed capacity grew by 45% last year, and by the end of next year it's expected to replace Germany as the number one wind power country.
In 1994 there was 4,000 megawatts of installed wind energy capacity in the world. At the end of 2007 there were 94,000 megawatts of installed wind energy capacity. We're expecting that to double again by 2013.
The North American wind industry continues to grow as well. In 2006, North America's wind industry grew more than 24%, bringing the total installed capacity well over 13,000 megawatts of electricity.
We expect it to grow another six-fold over the next 8 years.
The Naikun project will be built off the coast of Haida Gwaii in waters about 20 meters deep. Wind turbines will be installed in the seabed, and a submarine cable running approximately 90 kilometers will transmit the electricity to the mainland of British Columbia, where it will connect to the energy grid.
Offshore, generally, the winds are stronger and more consistent, less turbulent, so you have more production for the same equipment. We anticipated about 6 years ago that there would be a very large demand for renewable electricity in BC in the near future. And so after discovering the site and tracking the European industry, we decided that this would be a big opportunity, and I think it's borne out in the sense that BC Hydro has an enormous appetite for large-scale wind at this time.
Naikun recently installed an offshore meteorological station to collect data on wave, current, ocean, and air temperatures at the project site. It also has a laser LiDAR that can measure wind speeds at multiple heights simultaneously.
The Naikun project will be developed in several phases and could provide ultimately enough electricity to power 600,000 homes. Right now we're focused on the 320 megawatt first phase, which is currently undergoing a thorough review of the potential environmental impacts. The province and the federal government both participate in this process, as do stakeholders and members of the public. This is a lengthy process and a comprehensive one that we are fully committed to. It helps engage the community about the project and also helps us find ways to deal with concerns from the public.
The environmental impact assessment process assesses any potential environmental and social impacts associated with the construction, operation, or decommissioning of offshore wind development. European studies have provided some insight into the potential environmental impacts. A recent Danish report looked at 2 offshore projects for 8 years and concluded that with the right conditions, even big wind farms pose low risk to birds, mammals, and fish.
At sea, we can't just sit on the foundations there. It's often windy, it's a harsh environment. So we decided to develop an infrared camera system that could detect birds when passing by the vicinity of the blades. So it was running for 4 seasons. All together we were monitoring one turbine for about 2,000 hours. And there we could see how birds were reacting. And we could see, especially the sea ducks, which were our focal species, that they were not at all flying up around the blades of the turbine. They were more flying in between the turbines, in the corridors between turbines. The most important findings we have there is that indeed they can show avoidance behavior.
Offshore wind development can provide clean, inexhaustible energy without significant damage to the marine environment or vulnerable species. Naikun is not only focused on meeting energy demands, but also on northern economic development and environmental stewardship. These values are shared with the company's First Nations partners, the Haida Nation.
We've recognized from the early days of this project that it was essential that we have the support of the Haida Nation and other communities impacted by the project. We've worked hard to learn about their concerns. We're working hard to address their concerns.
Wind energy and offshore projects can help meet our growing electricity needs and at the same time reduce our reliance on fossil fuels.
North America has an abundance of wind energy resources. Offshore wind is a critical part of that, and our project is launching us down that road. The possibilities for a greener future are endless.
If you would like more information about Naikun wind development, call 604-639-8460 or visit them online at www.naikun.ca.